Here's an indication how departments can find property that they may need that's available in the surplus inventory. So they'll come here to surplus inventory and they can search through the entire industry. They click on the search icon here. It'll go to it'll pick up all of the items that are available, and they can filter by certain categories. So let's say they were looking for a printer. If we actually type it correctly, we'll see that the printer, a subset of printers show, and they'll see whether they have images or not. They can pop up the image directly and see whether that's something they're interested in. They can drill down to the detail of the application and still see the image of the particular type of printer. And so they can find the type of printer that they may need, and it could well be they need a big printer like this. And so they can go ahead and so now that they know that that printer is available, they will be able to go and reserve it. But this is just a way that they can browse through the various listings that you have available in inventory. And so we can unfilter here, of course, and they can sort in different directions alphabetically. They can search by department, or they can they can sort by department. Looks like everything here comes from the Department of Accounting. And they can also see quantities and so on and so forth. Sometimes the sorting is a little slow based on my internet connection speed. But here's a very important thing for them to be able to do. So when they come here to sustainability, they can see what is available. Now, that they've searched for these items in the past, and of course they can go here and see those printers, and if they choose one of the ones that has the image, and if that's the particular one they want, they can actually reserve it, and it'll stay reserved for them for the period that you designate. We have a default up here you can see of 24 hours. And so they can, so that will not be available for sale to anybody else unless or until that department has come down and purchased it. It'll warn you, as the surplus department, it'll warn you that that the item is reserved and by whom, and you can call them and say, do you really want me to keep this for you, if you've got somebody actually ready to purchase it. So so they can go through and see the items that they've been interested in and see what's available in inventory. Here, by the way, where this one here, this is actually where a department has said, I'm planning to get rid of this, does anybody want it? And so they could actually reserve it from that department. There's a whole other process that, again, it's a process that's better we do if we do a presentation to you when we have time to look at some of the details. So I'm just going to continue with the things that are more obvious to use. So here now, if let's say that they were looking for a lab coat for whatever reason, and they choose this and they add it to their want list, and there's none found. It says, sorry, no records found. So what they can do is they can post it to needed items. They can put in their little description here. Maybe they want a blue one or something, and save this. And departments can come here and they can see by searching again for everything, or they can, let's say they've got something to get rid of. Of course, there's a lot of junk stuff in here because this is just junk demo. But let's say they did have a truck to get rid of. They could see who was interested in a truck, and they could contact that department. Now, that, of course, depends on whether you permit departments to transfer product and property between themselves, or whether it all has to come through surplus in the first place. But that's an option, and it's just another way that property can be reused efficiently. They can look at their reserved items, and they can see how many hours are left until it actually goes back into inventory. If they don't come down and acquire that within that time, it will go back into inventory automatically. And then the other thing that they can do here, which saves them calling you, if you're giving money back to departments, this will save them from calling you and asking about what's been sold and how much money they're getting. So here they can see all of the items that they've sent to you as the surplus department. They can see the quantity, the pickup date, the sale date, and so on. Any expenses. It may be that you had to put a a new disk in a computer system or a battery in a car or something. And if you incur expenses, then of course you recover those expenses from whatever money is going to go back to the department. So you get your expenses plus your commission. And but what the department sees here is the distribution amount that they're going to be receiving from you, and they can print that out. So the other end of this property reuse is on your side of the equation, which is the site used by the surplus property department, and you'll see that in a separate demo. But departments, of course, then as a recap, they can search your inventory, they can enter items that they are looking for specifically. And by the way, when they enter a lab coat, for example, as we did before, and there's nothing found, when a lab coat does come into inventory, they are notified by email that you now have one available, and they can click on it, or they can search for it in here, click on it and view it, or they can come down and see it in person. So this is one way that we can improve the amount of property that's been reused. And of course, property being reused is saving on new procurement, which is saving the university money.